Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be showing y'all my S10. I have LS swapped this thing. Has a 350 turbo in it. It runs pretty good. I'm into it for about $1,600 after I blew the motor and transmission up. So still a little bit of wiring I need to be working on, but not bad overall for the price. There's the inside. One thing I will mention to y'all, that if y'all do this, y'all will need to do something with the drive shaft. As you can see right there, there's like no slip yoke at all. First, let's get into motor mounts. Let's see. Those are the motor mounts I use. Bought them for $20 on eBay. They're just cheap slider mounts. And I use the factory 2.8 mounts on the frame. You can also use 4.3 mounts. It's the same for both sides. I'll get y'all down there. Okay. And one thing I want to note, if y'all are using the truck oil pan, it will hang lower than the cross member, but it doesn't really bother me any. This is my daily driver, and you will have to raise the cab up, and it makes it a lot easier to stick it down with the truck oil pan. If you have one of the other oil pans, it's not as big of a deal. And with headers, you want to always make sure that this driver side header, mine touches here sometimes, not others. It's because I got bad body mounts. You want to make sure these two middle tubes go to the inside. That'll clear that steering shaft. And the harness I'm using, this is one that I just cut down. This is factory truck. PCM's in the same spot. Factory truck. The harness that I cut down took about $40 to do in about an hour. This radiator, I got it. This is for a 1992 Camaro. It's factory. I just have a zip tie holding it on because it'll get changed. But got my steam port hooked up here. Overall, it runs really well. The only thing I'm having problems with is this, or that O2 sensor right there. But that's just a ground that I'm about to fix. Still got to cover this up and shorten it and solder it and everything. But other than that, it's all good to go. For fuel lines, if you know anything about the 2.8s, they come out down here at the bottom, down under the power steering. I just took some brake line and bent them up like this, ran them up my frame, and then back up here, flared the ends, and boom, there's your fuel. For your fuel pump, I am running a Chevy 1500 1996 pump. It is a direct fit. It does 60 psi, and it starts this thing every time. Not had any problems with that. This truck was manual gearbox from factory, but if you do run power steering, you do have to get a smaller pulley or it will hit right here. And other than that, I'm running a 350 turbo transmission. You will have to get a crank spacer for it. You do not have to change a 4L60 flywheel if you use 5/16 flywheel bolts. And I do have a transcruiser down there. It was hooked up, but it fell off. Gets all that power. And I'll show you down here with the drive shaft. If you see that slip yoke, there's not a whole lot there. I haven't had any problems so far, but I will get into shorter drive shaft eventually. Yeah, overall it's not a real hard swap to do. I got about $1,600 after I blew the motor and transmission up. I put this 5.3 down in here. First I had a 4.8 and blew two rods out this side of the block, and put this 5.3 in there, took it out that night and blew the transmission out of it, busted the case. But overall it's not too hard to do. I mean, the harness would probably be the hardest part. This is the first one I've ever done. It took me about an hour. About half the harness can be gone. I originally built this truck to be a street truck, and then later figured out that it's probably a little too much to be a street truck. But I did have to notch the cross member a little bit for the truck oil pan. See if I can get down here too. Right there. I didn't box it in because it's just a small area. It does hang low, but it doesn't bother me any. I just got some O'Reilly's exhaust here. Exhaust clamps. All this pipe was bought from O'Reilly's. Got about $40 into it. And those mufflers I just had laying around. But not too hard of a swap overall. I got a harness over here actually. I might be able to show y'all. This is one I'm putting down for this truck. 6/0's going in here. Looks like a lot of wires because I haven't covered it up yet. But let's see. Pretty much this is all you're going to see from the side view. But this truck now has a 5.7 TVI and I can't get it to run right, so why not LS it? But yeah, this truck so far I got about $1,600 into. Runs and drives great. This is just a shifter I had laying around, not bolted down because I ripped it out of the floor because it is a ratchet shifter. And yeah, if you are running a smaller brake booster, you will need to change it to get this coil to mount right. I did have it mounted, but it kept coming off, or the boot kept coming off the end. So, I mean, other than that, this thing fires right up. No problems there. I'll show y'all. This was a factory manual truck. This is it while it's running. I am running the factory truck throttle cable, and it hooks up to the pedal just fine. Goes in the firewall, same plug and everything, same routing. I was just building it to be a daily driver, nothing too fancy. That's why I put a bunch of oil on it, didn't even clean it before I put it in. Just new plugs, wires, got these headers and all. Heater's still hooked up. It doesn't run hot, and unless I'm sitting in traffic, then it runs about 205, but that's not too hot for what they do run. Well, this is what I wanted to show y'all today, and you will have to get a flexible dipstick like that. But this is what I wanted to show y'all on here, and hope y'all have a wonderful day.